Hey guys, you're welcome to yet another tutorial of Benny Souls. My name is Benedicta, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make an Ankara short pant with a band and elastic waistline. So here today I'm going to be making use of this small Ankara fabric. I think it's a yard, and then if you have a yard you should be able to make this short pant for you. So here first off I'm going to be folding the fabric into two as you did see me do so, and I'm going to marking my starting point, and at the front edge of the fabric I'm going to be marking a line which is going to serve as our sewing allowance. So the next thing I'm going to be inputting right now is the length of the short, and then the length of the short I'm working with today is 17 inches. Then I'm going to be adding 1 inch sewing allowance to it, and the next I'm going to be marking right now is my crouch depth, which is 10 inches. So I'm going to mark that inwards using my long ruler. I'm going to match out those lines out. So the next thing I'm going to be doing right now is to measure 2 inches above my crotch line, which is going to serve as my hip measurement. So I'm going to match that out as well. So moving on, the next thing I'm going to be doing right now is to mark out my hip measurement. In this video, we're not going to be making use of our waist measurement. So here I'm marking out 2.25 inch of my hip line. The hip line I'm working with is 37. 37 divided by 4 is 9.25. So I've done ahead to mark that out. And then to determine our crouch intake, I'm going to measure what I have on my hip line, and then I'll divide it by 4. So when after dividing it by 4, I came about 2.25. And then on my crouch line, I'm going to mark out 2.25 inches right there. And I'm going to make a curve right there, meeting my hip line and then the waistline. Please be mindful of the curve. Do not make it go too inside. And then on the hem of the shirt, I'm going to marking out 11 inches. The tie I'm working with is 22 inches. 22 inches divided by 2 is 11. So I took away half an inch from there. So I marked 10.5 inches. So with that, we're almost through with the front part of our shirt. So guys, the next thing I'm going to be doing right there is to measure what I have on the waistline, and I'm going to be dividing it by 2, which is going to serve as our dart. So I'll mark it right there, and then I'm going to be adding half an inch at the edge where I'm pointing to right now, which is going to serve as our sewing allowance. And then I'll do the same thing on our crouch intake. So right there, and I'll connect it down to our crotch depth. So we are done with the front measurement and the front pattern, I mean to say. So here I'm going to cut it out. So guys, if you are new on our channel, you are welcome. Please do hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And for our returning subscribers, we love you and we say keep sticking with us for more videos. So here I'm going to be cutting it out, and then we're going to be using the front pattern to cut out the back pattern. It's a very simple pattern and it's a very simple tutorial. Please do well to replicate this and let me know how it turned out in the comment section. I'll be waiting. So at the hem, I'm going to be folding it in so I won't have a shortage after cutting it. So after cutting it out, I'm going to open it back. So we are done cutting out the front pattern. So I'm going to notch the darts measurement I took earlier. So with that, I'm going to bring fabric and cut out the back piece. So in cutting out the back piece, I'm going to place in the front on the new fabric, folding into two again. Make sure at the crotch depth we have two and a half or 2 inches extension right there to accommodate our crotch extension, and from there I'm going to be taking in our crouch extension, which is 2 inches. So I'm going to be marking 2 inches all along from my crouch all the way to the hem of the shirt and to the waistline, of course. So guys, do hit the subscribe button. We're waiting. What are you waiting for? Please go and hit the subscribe button. So I'm marking out all the way down. here as you see me do so. It's a very simple tutorial, guys. Please do try it out and you like the outcome. It's going to be beautiful. And then take your measurements accurately. It determines how well how fitted your short pants will come out. And then here I'm adjusting the measurements, and then on the waistline I'm going to be going up by one inch, and I'm going to connect that to the other edge of our short pants using my straight roller. I'll connect that so we won't have a shortage at the back of our shirt in order to accommodate the butt area. So with that, I'm going to cut out the back piece. So I'm cutting it out right here. So here we go. We're almost done with our cutting. And then here we go. We have our front and our back pattern ready. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the band. For the back, I'll measure what I have. I have about 12.5 inch. I'm going to and then 5 inches wide, because after I'm done sewing it, I'll have 2 inches for the band. So here I'm cutting out my 5 inch and then my 12.5 inch length for the band. That's for the back anyway. So please measure what you have and then cut it out accordingly. So here I'm cutting it out. And I'm going to get another fabric to cut out the front piece of our band. So afterward, this is what I have. So that's for the back. We have a piece for the back. I'm going to slit that into two later on. Then for the front, I think measuring the front pattern, we have 10.5 inches. I'm going to measure that out. So I'm counting 10.5 in length and then 5 inches width for for the the front band. So I'm cutting 10.5 and then 5 inches to match up with the back band. So guys, if you're new to our channel, hit the subscribe button right now. So I'm cutting that out now. So here we go. We are done cutting with all the for this particular pants. I'm not going to be cutting out the pockets. So guys, please feel free to cut out pockets for your own. Then next thing I'm going to do right now, placing the two fronts piece, and then going over to sew the crotch on my sewing machine. And then after that, this is what I have. I'm done sewing and this is what I have. So next thing I'm going to be doing is opening it up and then sewing the crotch area, matching the front and the back crotch area, and then going over to sew them together. So I'll go over to my sewing machine and sew that together, and I'll come back to show you what I have. So please try to align it and make sure it is straight, then sew. So afterwards, guys, I'm done sewing and I'm done attaching the band. Next thing I'm going to be doing is folding in the band inwards, half an inch inward. I'd already sewn half an inch already. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine now and sew both the front and the back. So guys, I think I missed some clips of this, so please forgive me and I'll put it later on. So next I'm going to be doing now, cutting out half the waistline of my back. I'll cut out half of it. So for the band, I'm cutting out half for the band of elastic for the band. So I'm using my safety pin to pass it through the back piece. Forgive me guys, my children are actually boxing me up here. So that's why I'm a bit wavy, so forgive me. So using my pin, I'm going to hold that in line and I'm going to extend it to the other side of the band. So here I'm done extending it. I'll go over to the sewing machine and then I'm going to align the front and the back and sew it. So here I'm done putting in my elastic. So I'll bring the front side and the back side. So holding it that way, I'm going to go back to my sewing machine and I'll sew it down with half an inch on both sides. Then afterwards, I'm going to hem my the hem of my short pants with 1 inch. So here guys, I'm done sewing the sides. I'm going to turn it to the front for you to see what it looks like. And this is it. It's looking so beautiful. We're done sewing. This is my band sitting so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Guys, do replicate this and let me know how it turns out in the comment section. For your request, I'll be in the comment section to take your request. So thank you guys for always stopping by. Please hit subscribe button if you're new on our channel. And for you that watch this video to the very end, we say God bless you and keep coming back. Thank you.